Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going to be doing our second exercise in LeetCode using Kotlin, and we're going to figure out this new example. This one is going to be the Roman to integer problem. Pretty straightforward one, an easy one. Just kind of working through converting Roman numerals to a number. So let's look through this problem real quick and dive into it. In this one, again, if you're not familiar with Roman numerals, it is these different characters, I, V, X, all the way to M, and they have different numerical values. And this is pretty common to want to convert, especially in schools in the United States, to convert these. It's a good math problem. The thing to watch out for, which is called out here, is sometimes the I can be placed before the V, and that actually means 4. So there's a little bit of subtraction. Looks like there's 3 cases we need to handle whenever there's a preceding letter, and then we need to subtract. So we'll handle both of those. And then moving on, we have these 3 examples. So let's get into it. This is probably going to be just a bunch of if statements, checking for the characters. So we'll want to, since a string is just an array of characters, we'll probably loop through it. So let's see if we can get that working first. So we'll do a var, because it's going to be mutable. We'll call this like our result. And that's going to be, we need to return integer. We'll default it to 0. Return result. And if we run that, we should just get a 0 back. All right. Yep, definitely the wrong answer. But we get a 0. All right. So now let's do the looping, and we'll just do var and I 0 and like while. So while I is less than s, which looks like our input value here for the string, the length of it, and then we'll want to increment our I value. I'm doing this because I don't believe that there's a thing in Kotlin for like the normal, for I0 all the way up. This is just an alternative way to do it. So we'll do that if we want to check the value of like s at the I value, and if that equals, I think we have to do single quotes here to do a character. So if that's I, then we want to add result. Result is a hard word to spell apparently for me. All right. And else if, and we'll just keep going down this, like all these different values. So bear with me. Probably fast forward this a little bit. What we want, this a bunch of times. Exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And this is gonna be V. This one's X. This one's L. This one's C. D. M. And the result is gonna be different for each of these. So this I value is 5, or I'm sorry, V value is 5. This one's 10. L is 50. C should be 100, 500, and 1,000 to round it out. We have all that, and we have our increment. So we're just looping over that string value, adding up the results. This is our accumulator. And so if we run that, we should probably get a right answer for this first test case. All right, and then, yeah, we can change our test case here. This should run, let's see, that one's good. And we'll run this test case. Oh, I could probably do, I wonder if I can do multiple in here. Let's try that. All right, this one's wrong. Let's see if I can do multiple. Gonna do multiple. Let's try this one. All right, yeah, that works. Okay, we'll put this one in as well. And that'll force us to do some other stuff. That's probably getting into the subtraction. Yeah, so we haven't handled this IV or this XC or this CM value. So we need to handle all those. It's a diff. Ah, okay. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's handle those. Essentially, any of these subtraction cases, we're going to want to add an if statement inside, and we'll check the next character, and then we'll do an increment of I so that we avoid doing the wrong thing. So if something for this, else if this other thing, if probably doesn't need a space there, else we'll do this thing that's normal. All right, so we'll want that. Whoa, that was wicked. All right, let's modify all these. And for I, we want to check if the next character is V or X. So we could do, like, we want to make sure our boundary is okay. So if we have like X, or I plus 1, and if that is less than S dot length, like we don't want to blow our array whenever we're comparing. So we'll check this first, and then if S of I plus 1, so we're checking the next element in the string. If that equals V, then this should be 4 and not a 1. And then we need to remember I plus plus here. So we'll do something similar with this guy. And this will be an X, and this will be a 9. And then that should be sufficient there. We need to do the same thing for X. So we'll kind of copy this thing and do the same thing in X. Didn't paste very well. There we go, much better. Perfect. And X, if it's an L or a C, L, C. If it is a C, it needs to be 90. If it is a L, it needs to be a 40. And this all makes sense. And since we've nested it, it's like this first character's X, and then we check the next one. Increment as follows. Otherwise, you just do the normal thing. And we let the increment happen at the very bottom. The other one is C. So let's go down to C. And we'll do this. And then D and M. D. M. And 400 and 900. It's like we're just having to add zeros at the end of those. And then I think that's our last case. Double check our work here. Yeah, we're good. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. All right, we did it. So this is a good value. We've gone through all the cases. Lower this so we can see our whole code. We could absolutely convert this to a when statement, like in some of these. Be a little bit more Kotlin, but I mean, this is a pretty straightforward example. We can let it ride. Return results. Let's submit this thing, see how we did. All right, it's accepted. So we did it. I'll do some more exercises like this. If you learned something, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.